What's up and welcome back to the Sixers Break Room. On today's video, we are going to be breaking down the Phoenix Suns, and I'm going to be telling you guys why I think they will not make the NBA Finals. You guys in my comment section have been asking for me to break down the Suns, especially after I just broke down the Mavs. So here we are. Let's talk about them. But first, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. You guys have been showing me mad love in the comments. You guys have been subscribing to the channel, man. I'm overwhelmed with how much positive feedback I've been getting. But still, looking at the analytics, over 90% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on that bell so you know when I'm dropping new content. Let's get to it. In this first clip here, we're going to start by breaking down some of the sets that the Phoenix Suns love to run. They do this little double screen action here where you're going to get Jay Crowder setting a screen and DeAndre Ayton setting the screen. Now, what's creative about this is Ayton is going to roll to the basket after he sets this ball screen that Chris Paul is going to come off of, and that forces Jay Crowder's guy to help on the screen because Dwight Howard has to step up on Chris Paul. You got DJ Augustine trying to fight over the top. Jay Crowder's defender becomes the helper on the roll, and you'll see that when that happens, it opens up Devin Booker to lift here from the corner. So you get this double screen action right there. Anthony Davis is the one that is guarding Jay Crowder, and you can see Anthony Davis is sinking in to take away the roll. You can see Dwight Howard has stepped up to try to stop the ball, and you have DJ Augustine trying to fight over the top of that screen. Now right here, you're going to see Anthony Davis. This is supposed to be his responsibility, but he knows Jay Crowder is a good shooter, so he actually bails on the roll guy. And when he bails on the roll, Stanley Johnson decides to slide over and take away the roll, leaving Devin Booker to lift here and get wide open for a shot. As we play here, you can see, boom, Anthony Davis peeled off to go back to Jay Crowder. You have Stanley Johnson who has taken away the roll, and that leaves Devin Booker wide open for a skip pass jump shot. The Phoenix Suns run this set quite often. Let's take another look at it in a different clip. So in next clip here, you're going to see a little bit of a variation on the same play. So you get that Jay Crowder screen, you get the DeAndre Ayton screen with Chris Paul coming off of this double. Now, this time, instead of Devin Booker staying in the corner, he's actually going to cut through to the opposite corner. What happens there is on this cut through, once again, Stanley Johnson gets put in a position where he then has to help on the roll man. You'll see as we play here, you get that double screen. Stanley Johnson is trying to pass it off to Russell Westbrook. The problem is now Russell Westbrook is in a position where he has to guard two, right? You got one guy guarding shooter and another shooter coming to the corner here. Russell Wilson is going to be forced to make a decision. As we keep playing this clip, you can see Stanley Johnson is now in no man's land. Anthony Davis is here stopping the ball. Chris Paul isn't even looking for the roll man anymore. Stanley Johnson has to get out of there, but he's late. And then you get, once again, Russell Westbrook, having to play two guys. You get the kick to Bridges. Russell Westbrook has to step up or he's going to give up a wide open shot. One more pass to the corner, knockdown. Again, this is kind of like a go-to set for the Suns, and they run it really well, and it's actually super hard to defend, especially when you have the option of Booker staying in the corner and lifting or going to the opposite corner and kind of overloading the side with two shooters going up against one defender. Here, we're going to see the same action once again. So you have Devin Booker coming off this little rub screen from Crowder. Chris Paul gets the ball, and here we go. Double screen coming at the top. Once again, Devin Booker now is going to stay in the corner, and you're going to see kind of what happens here and the difference. So this time, Devin Booker is staying, but the Lakers actually do a better job defending the roll. Instead of having, I believe that's Austin Reeves, sink in and take away the roll, it's actually Jay Crowder's defender, Carmelo Anthony, who decides to take up and take away the roll man. Chris Paul does a really good job of taking what the defense gives him. He's not going to force the ball into Ayton. He's just going to throw it back to Jay Crowder, who's wide open, and then you're going to see Jay Crowder makes a play, right? So we get that kickback to Crowder. Again, Austin Reeves is in a position where he has to play two. He decides to close out hard on Crowder, and Crowder's going to make the extra pass for a wide open shot to Devin Booker. The Phoenix Suns are unselfish. They got 5 guys on the floor who know how to play the game at a high level, guys who can score at every position, and they just play basketball, man. They make the extra pass. They make it easy. Devin Booker is a certified bucket, and Devin Booker has the ability, as you see here, there's no offensive set here. You're going to get a little high screen, and then he could just step right into a shot, knock down contested. Here we're going to have another example, right? They're running a little set here. You get a little dribble handoff between Ayton and Chris Paul, right? You get this little dribble handoff here. Or in this case, they're actually going to fake the handoff, and you have this pin down screen coming from Jay Crowder. Now, you can tell this is a situation where it's a read. Depending on what happens up top with the two-man game between Ayton and Chris Paul will determine what these guys do at the bottom. That's why Crowder is looking to see what's going on here. As we let the clip run, Chris Paul decides to go the opposite way. DJ Augustine was playing super aggressive over the top, denying that handoff. So we're going to get this pin down screen, and Booker's going to come off of this into a handoff with DeAndre Ayton. Comes off the screen here. You get that handoff, and now Devin Booker, he's good enough to go get you a basket, right? Little jab step, he trips. Look at that. Step back, create space. Bang. And it's not just Devin Booker, right? Like, Devin Booker is their best player, but he's not the only one who can go score the ball. Chris Paul is an absolute wizard in the pick and roll, and has one of the best mid-range jumpers in the past decade, right? He's able to, I play at my own pace, I get to my spot, pull up. Here's another example, right? You got Chris Paul, he gets downhill, he's gonna get to that elbow area, same spot as the other clip. He gets to that right elbow, mid-range area, uncontested pull-up. I mean, that's a layup for Chris Paul. And probably the best part of Chris Paul's game is not only his ability to be automatic in this elbow area. Like, if Chris Paul gets there, I mean, good night. He's probably going to hit that shot. But he's a pick and roll maestro. You get this high ball screen for Chris Paul, who's going to dribble off of this. Carmelo Anthony knows if you let Chris Paul get to this spot, it's a layup. So watch how aggressive Carmelo Anthony plays this. Carmelo Anthony hedges. It's not even really his responsibility, right? Like, Dwight Howard is the guy defending McGee. It is Dwight Howard's job to step up and make sure that Chris Paul doesn't get to his spot. But Carmelo Anthony decides to help off of Cam Johnson, and you'll see Chris Paul, you guys know the rule by now. You draw two, you got to give it up. He kicks it to the corner, wide open shooter, and Cam Johnson, he's a very good shooter. Like, that's why they have him, right? Corner three, we value those in the NBA. Bang. Here's another example of Chris Paul in the pick and roll. You're going to see you have this ball screen here from Crowder, and then Chris Paul is actually going to use Ayton. Ayton isn't even setting the screen. Ayton is doing what you call rim running, and you're going to see Chris Paul kind of comes right behind this and uses him as a screen. And when he does this, it forces Dwight Howard to actually step up and help. Right there, Dwight Howard steps up and helps. And if anybody out there has played football or knows anything about football, there's this expression: if you're even, he's leaving. Right now, Anthony Davis and DeAndre Ayton are even with each other, which means the offensive player has the advantage. Ayton is just going to dive to the basket, and Chris Paul is going to make a great pass over the top for an easy 2 points to DeAndre Ayton. Pick and roll maestro. Here's another example of Chris Paul in the pick and roll, right? So you get that little ghost screen by Jay Crowder. Like, I'm not really setting a screen, just a little action to get a little switch. And then here, you're going to have a screen from Ayton. Chris Paul's coming off of this, and you'll see nobody helps on the roll. Chris Paul reads this almost immediately and just throws the lob over the top. There goes the screen. Nobody goes with the roll. Look, he doesn't waste any time with it. Right off that right-hand dribble, just throws it up. One-handed pass over the top. Another easy 2 points from DeAndre Ayton. Now, this next clip here just shows you how smart of a player Chris Paul is, right? You're going to start with this little off-ball screen for Devin Booker, and then you get this little give and go right away. You're just getting Chris Paul downhill, right? So Chris Paul on that pass is able to start getting downhill so that on the pitch back, he's already headed downhill with a full head of steam. And Russell Westbrook is very late on this, right? He's not expecting Chris Paul to get a head start on the handoff. If you get a head start in the NBA, you're getting to your spot, period. Then you're going to have this screen from DeAndre Ayton and the roll. Now, when DeAndre Ayton rolls to the basket, I want you guys to take a look at Anthony Davis and see what Anthony Davis does here. You get the screen and the roll, and Anthony Davis comes in to help on the roll. Why? Well, we just watched Chris Paul throw two lobs over the top to DeAndre Ayton. Anthony Davis remembers these. Anthony Davis is sick of seeing DeAndre Ayton dunk the basketball on these lobs. So Anthony Davis decides to take the lob away, and that leaves Jay Crowder, a shooter, wide open in the corner. Chris Paul recognizes this almost immediately. Again, It does not take very long for him to come off of this screen. If I can drag this and get it going a little slow motion. As soon as he's coming off of it, right now he sees Anthony Davis. He sees that weight shift. He knows he's coming in, and you throw that skip pass over the top to a wide open shooter. Jay Crowder, bang. This next play here is actually a really creative set from the Phoenix Suns. You're going to see Devin Booker here is just chilling in the middle of the paint. You're going to get this screen from DeAndre Ayton. And then on this roll, you actually have Devin Booker going to set a screen on DeAndre Ayton's man so that he's wide open on the roll. Now, what happens is Anthony Davis, you can see Anthony Davis is already, he watches film. He knows this is coming. He's aware of this. He's actually going to avoid that screen, but Stanley Johnson still helps on it, right? So look, he's already going. He's getting under it because he knows what's happening. He's trying to get in a position to be able to defend that roll, but Stanley Johnson is kind of sleeping, and he thinks that Anthony Davis is not doing what he's supposed to do. He thinks Anthony Davis is out of position. So Stanley Johnson takes it amongst himself to say, you know what, I'll take away the drive since you got out of the way, right? Miscommunication between those two. Anthony Davis has watched the film and he's beaten Ayton to the spot. Stanley Johnson doesn't know what's going on. Not his fault. Again, this is where players have to talk on the floor. And you're going to see Chris Paul, he knows what's going on. He's drawing a second defender. He knows Stanley Johnson is supposed to be covering Devin Booker, and he's not. Devin Booker must be wide open. You get the throwback to Booker. Bang. So we've watched clips. I mean, we've seen Devin Booker getting buckets. We've seen Chris Paul getting buckets. We've seen Ayton catching lobs. We've seen Cam Johnson and Jay Crowder hitting shots. Why do I think that the Phoenix Suns are not going to be in the finals? Well, I'm going to show you why in these next couple of clips. The reason why I think that the Phoenix Suns are not going to make the NBA Finals is because in the NBA, stars have to go get buckets when it's time to get buckets. And the top guys in the NBA are able to do this typically by getting to the basket, getting to the free throw line, right? Or hitting tough shots. The problem with Phoenix is they often rely on the most inefficient shot in basketball. They rely heavily on the mid-range jump shot, right? Devin Booker, as good as he is, and he's very good, but a lot of his offense comes from mid-range jumpers, and mid-range jumpers just aren't the most efficient shot to take. You want layups and threes. Here's an example of, right, a very, very contested mid-range jumper, and this is something you see Devin Booker taking all of the time. In this case, he makes it, but when it's crunch time, is that really what we want to rely on as an offense? Here's another example here, right? You're going to have that set once again where you're getting that screen from Ayton, and then Devin Booker is screening Ayton's guy so that he can roll free to the basket. You're going to see it's defended pretty well by the Lakers, right? Howard does a good job avoiding the screen. And you get Devin Booker here. He gets downhill, but look at, once again, very tough jump shot, right? Like, yo, this is a very tough shot. They settle for a lot of mid-range jumpers. Let's take a look at a clip here. In transition. Most stars in transition, they get to the basket. I'm either getting to or I'm getting to the free throw line. Devin Booker dribbles to where he feels comfortable, that right wing in the mid-range. Pull up. Look at this shot. Contested shot. Very tough shot. And it's another miss. And it's not just Devin Booker. So here you have Chris Paul coming off of this double screen, right? He's going to get to his spot. Little ball fake to get Howard to back up. Open shot, but he double pumps, right? 2 pump fakes, and he misses a mid-range jump shot. Here's another example. Same exact set. You get the double screen high, right? Forcing the help to make a decision. He gets to his spot, pull up, and it's another miss. Like the Phoenix Suns, I feel like more than anyone else, particularly their stars, they rely on these mid-range jump shots. Even in the Devin Booker clips that we showed where he was hitting shots, tough shots, and running their sets, a lot of it is mid-range jump shots, and mid-range jump shots are the most efficient shot, the most inefficient shot to take in basketball. Threes and layups, right? That's the formula. Now, I'm not saying there's no space in the game for mid-range shots. Like if you're a good shooter, you're a good shooter. However, when it's crunch time and you're in the playoffs and you need to go get a bucket, do I want to rely on 17, 18, 19 footers? Or do I want to rely on a team that has a guy that's going to get to the cup when he needs to get to the cup, who's going to draw a foul when he needs to draw a foul? I think Devin Booker is exceptional. I'm a huge Devin Booker guy, but I just don't think, at least not yet, I don't think Devin Booker is going to be the best player on your team and get you to the finals. I think that you need somebody who can go get you one when it's time to go get one. And the way to do that is usually attacking the basket. Now, I'm not saying that the Suns have no chance at going to the finals. The Suns have been the best team in the NBA all year long. But I just think when it comes crunch time and it's the playoffs, that's just not the formula. They don't have a top 5 guy. I don't think that I would say they have a top 10 guy. Like, I don't know that I would say Booker is top 10. They have 2 guys that one is definitely top 15. The other one is bordering top 20, top 25. But historically, that's not enough. And when I watch them play and it's crunch time and I see how they get their offense, it's not something I want to trust in the playoffs. What do you guys think? Sound off in the comment section below. If you made it this far, don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And I will see you guys on the next one. This is the Sixers Break Room. Peace.